and she proved once again why she is the best, and she proved once again why she needs to fight at home. An honor to now speak to Katie Taylor after her win. This is a first for all of us. Let's go and say hello to Katie once again. Hello, Katie. How are you?
How's it going? Thanks again for the lovely introduction.
Always for you, Katie. Congratulations on the win. So lovely to have you on a Monday after one of your big victories. So thank you so much for making some time. Usually, like I joked last time, usually you disappear. So this is a real treat for us. Thank you.
Thank you. I guess this is my victory tour that you were talking about the last time.
Yes, this is it. So how do you feel about what you did out there on Saturday? Were you happy with your performance?
Yeah, it was. I definitely boxed really well at times. The spots. It wasn't a perfect performance, but a very, very. I thought I won every round, and yeah, I thought it was a great display of boxing on Saturday night. I was happy enough, and just a great night overall. 22 fights, 22 wins, and still undefeated. So I can't complain.
Why wasn't it perfect? I thought you won every round convincingly. Why, in your mind, wasn't it perfect?
I mean, it was a lovely display of boxing at times and spots, but I would have liked to have had a cleaner performance at times as well. But I'm always my biggest critic, I think, and I think that's obviously a good thing. You want to just continue to improve. A great performance overall, but there's definitely spots to improve on.
She's a bit of an awkward fighter, right? Tall, lanky. Did you feel like she was a little bit awkward to fight?
Yeah, she was definitely very awkward, really tall, long arms, like you said, and she's definitely a lot tougher than I expected as well. Every time I did catch her with a clean shot, she came back fighting. So she obviously wasn't stepping in there unbeaten for no reason. She was very, very game. And yeah, she was obviously a tough South American fighter, and she had a lot of pride in there. So all credit to her as well.
Nice on a Monday to not, yeah, I know you said that you bruise easily, but wasn't the war that you went through in April. I would imagine you're feeling pretty good after Monday as opposed to the Monday after the Serrano fight.
It's definitely a lot different today than rather than some other fights I've been involved in. I came out fairly unscathed and unharmed. A few little marks, but nothing to worry about.
I know you are asked this question, and you were asked this question leading up to the fight, but now that it's over, I'm wondering if the response is any different. Coming off a fight of that magnitude in April and then coming into this one where your opponent isn't as well known and maybe the stakes aren't as high, do you ever find yourself searching for motivation and ever feeling like you are lacking it because it's not the name and the stakes?
No, I actually don't find it difficult to motivate myself at all. I was obviously headlining the show, which is a big deal. I knew there's going to be a lot of Irish people in the crowd as well, and it's important to come through these fights in a great fashion as well. So every single fight's important, and it's obviously so important to keep winning. If I didn't win on Saturday night, the big fights won't happen. The big homecoming fight next year, for example, wouldn't have happened if things went badly on Saturday night. So every single fight's important, and I just want to keep proving why I feel like I am the best in the world.
And what about, your star is so bright right now. We talked about how you were on that list, most marketable athletes and whatnot. Did you feel, and despite the fact that maybe she wasn't the biggest name, but a lot of pressure, I feel like now on you to keep this going, especially coming off of that fight, did it feel like there was more pressure on your shoulders coming off the last performance?
There's definitely a lot of pressure in a fight like that when the odds from you are so high. I mean, I don't know what the bookies had it, but everyone obviously expects me to blow through these girls. So there's obviously always a huge pressure fight in that situation. But it's also a great position to be in as well, is when you're at the top of your game, when people expect you to win, when you're headlining these big shows. I mean, I can't complain. It's just a great position to be in, and I love that pressure. I think it would be unusual if I didn't feel that pressure at this stage. I think I perform better when I am under pressure, and this is the sort of situation I want to be in.
I think we all appreciate your humility so much. I was thinking back to our chat on Tuesday of last week, and you gave us like a rare glimpse into your confidence as well when you said something like anyone who considers me an underdog going into a fight, referring to the last one, you're crazy. I'm paraphrasing here. And I love that. I was like, I wish I could hear more of that from Katie, but we know it's down there. You just won't always say it. And so I like the fact that you came back. Sometimes people were saying, she's lacking motivation or she fights down to the opponents. I thought you reminded everyone that even though you are, a massive favorite going into this fight, there are levels to this game and you are so far ahead of everyone else.
Yeah, well, thanks, Ira. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I might not be always the most vocal boxer in the world, but I do feel like my mentality and my drive is second to none. And every single time I step into the ring, I believe that I will prove to people why I am the best. And I'm definitely a quiet person in general, but that the drive I have and my mentality is definitely I think on another level.
I love the post-fight interview afterwards, and I love the fact that both you and Eddie seem so certain that Ireland is going to happen next year. On this Monday now, because now the dust is settling a little bit, do you feel like you can say with 100% certainty that your next fight will take place in Ireland?
Yeah, I think so. I think they're already in talks for Croke Park, like we said,
Wow.
in the biggest state in Ireland. We're hoping it's going to be set for April or May sometime. And I think it is going to be a complete sellout. And can you imagine 80,000 people at one of the biggest? It's incredible. I was even going for a walk. I'm at home right now in Ireland. I was going for a walk just in my local town. And I think every single person stopped me telling me that they're going to buy tickets to the Croke Park fight. People seem to be very, very excited about it. And I think it will be the biggest event in women's boxing history, one of the biggest events of boxing that you could possibly see.
I mean, I'm getting chills with you just telling me that. I was at Connor's fight in Ireland at the 3 Arena, and there were 10,000 people there. It felt like there were 100,000 people there. I can't imagine what the scene will be like for you. And so you say April, May, you think it's a done deal. Does the opponent even matter? Because I don't think the opponent matters. I really think you versus me sells that place out, and that would be a rather one-sided affair for you, obviously. Does the opponent matter at all?
I don't think the opponent matters either. It would obviously be great if it was a rematch, but there's definitely, like I said, no shortage of big fights out there. Any fighter between 130 pounds to 140 pounds, I'd be happy to step into the ring against. And any one of those fights would sell out, I think. I do want to be involved in the biggest fights possible and the most exciting fights possible. That's just in my nature. I want the tough tests. I want the toughest challenges, but I do believe that any fight would sell.
So I didn't ask you about this last week, but I'm wondering now, and I'm worried about this a little bit. Obviously, I agree the biggest fight would be the Serrano rematch. But as you may know, Eddie Hearn and your old friend Jake Paul have a little bit of an issue right now between them. Are you worried that this potential legal issue will preclude the fight from happening? Because I heard Eddie talk, kind of dismiss it. So I was like, oh, maybe it won't. How do you feel?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know the ins and outs of what's going on there, but they definitely need to sort their problems out for this fight to happen.
Yes.
So whatever's going on, they need to obviously sit down together and speak and talk about it. And it would be an awful shame if the rematch didn't happen because of that. They just need to be bigger men and do what's right for boxing. And if that is what's in the way of making the rematch happen, they definitely need to obviously sort that out. But I agree. I do believe it is the biggest fight out there still, and there is still such a huge appetite, obviously, for that fight. The first fight was huge, but I can only imagine what the rematch will be like. It'll be even bigger than the last one, and I do believe that that's the only thing that would top Madison Square Garden is headlining a huge show here in Ireland. 80,000 people, and I think it's exactly what myself and Amanda Serrano deserve. But if that fight obviously doesn't happen, like I said, there are still big fights out there.
Do you think she wants it?
I believe so. I mean, she said after the fight that she did want it. So the ball is obviously in their court if they want it. But if you don't want it, we obviously have to move on and look at different options.
Do the titles do the titles that you have and there's mandatories that come with those titles? Do they sometimes stunt your growth? Like sometimes you have to take these fights that may be viewed to the public as beneath you because you have to defend the titles and they're mandatories. Like, do you worry about that at all? Is that something that like in some ways like shackles you? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I don't worry about it too much. I obviously love the hold on to the undisputed title, and I think the belts are very, very important for me. Now, I have worked so hard to get to this position, so sometimes it is just necessary to fight the mandatories. But I also know that those fights could be banana skin opponents as well. So you have to be motivated. You have to be. You just can't go into those fights complacent. But once you come through those fights, I think it is a great preparation for the bigger fights as well. It is still important to stay active in the sport, and like Sugar Ray Leonard used to say, inactivity is the biggest sin of boxing. It is so important just to stay sharp and to have regular fights coming up.
And just to be clear, there's no chance Croke Park or that neighborhood says, no, we can't do it. And then you're at like 3 Arena or something like that. With all due respect to 3 Arena, I think you have outgrown that by leaps and bounds. There's no chance that happening. Like if you're fighting in Ireland next year, it's at Croke Park.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the locals around are very happy for that fight, for my fight to go ahead as well. They're all in favour of it. So we are genuinely in talks right now with Croke Park for the fight to happen.
Wow.
The thoughts of it is just so exciting for me, and this is just incredible. And we're obviously going to have a huge undercard in the fight as well. There's so many Irish fighters, even from Saturday night, like Gary Cully, who knocked out his opponent in 30 seconds. He's a huge prospect in the lightweight division. These kind of fighters who are going to be on the undercard, it's going to be a phenomenal night for Irish boxing.
By the way, on a Monday, could you give us a glimpse into your life? Like when you walk outside now, are you just being bombarded with people coming up to you? What is that like and how do you deal with it? Are you comfortable with it?
I mean, I obviously live a very, very quiet life, but after Saturday nights, when it's always very, very fresh in people's memory, and
yeah,
they go for a walk just along the seafront this morning, and genuinely, every single person will stop me, just congratulate me, and just tell me how excited you are about the prospect of me fighting at Croke Park, and I think it's going to be a sellout very, very quick, and just the support is so humbling, to be quite honest, and. People are so nice, and I'm so grateful.
And just curious, I know we talked a little bit on Tuesday, but now that the Saturday fight is over, if it's not Amanda, do you have an option two in your perfect world?
Yeah, you want from like I said, 130 pounds to 140 pounds. I'm very, very happy to fight big fights out there in those divisions, and I'm ready and willing to step into the ring with any of those girls.
And in Ireland, where would that fight air? Would that be like forgive me for not knowing, but like, is that a DAZN fight, or is this something that would be like on, like some sort of terrestrial like I feel like the entire country will stop when this happens. Do you have any idea where this will air?
I assume it's going to be on DAZN, but I don't know if our local or national broadcaster is RTE, so I don't know if it's going on RTE or not. But that's that would be fantastic if it was so accessible to everybody here. But that's not. I don't know.
That's the business side. That. That's the channel that airs the Late Late Show with the toy episode and all that, right? Yes.
You're so excited about the Late Late Show.
I love it. I love it. My dream is to be on it as well. If they want me on the toy show, I'd be happy to fly over for it. It's just tremendous. There's nothing wholesome like that over here. We don't have that type of programming in America. So I think it's tremendous. And when you come on with the little kids and they're all excited to meet you, it's amazing. And it's a glimpse into the connection that you have with your country mates. It's just amazing how, I don't know if we even have anyone like you in our country here, America as well, that is so revered, so loved. Like no one says anything negative about you. You are one of the only people honestly, like I go on Twitter, I get a ton of hate. I don't know if anyone hates you. Do you ever feel hate? Do you ever get annoying trolls? Do you ever sense any of this? Because I don't see anyone ever saying a negative thing about you on any platform anywhere in the world.
Yeah, no, I definitely get my hate.
You do? Who's hating you? It's like hating puppies.
I definitely get my fair share of criticism as well, but that's why I never look at any comments on social media, for example. I think it's It's the worst thing you can do, isn't it? Is to read negative comments about yourself. But for the most part, it is very, very positive, obviously, and yeah, I'm just very, very grateful. But yeah.
And your work ethic is unmatched. Like obviously you always come in tip top shape. Now that fight is over and you can kind of come down a little bit, do you like to do anything to take your mind off of boxing, or are you the type of fighter who's back at the gym today and you're just like, obviously you're not training for a fight, but like do you never step away?
I never step away too much. I think that's the worst thing you can do, really, for me anyway. After a few days, I feel like I forget how to box. So I need to obviously. I just love being in the gym. Genuinely love being in the gym and training hard. But I'm actually home for a few weeks now in Ireland, and it's just great to spend a bit of time with family. I've been in Connecticut, obviously training for the fights for the last few months, and this is a special time for me, just taking it easy and relaxing with family, my nieces and my nephews, and it's just a fantastic time.
By the way, do you happen to have that date off the top of your head? I just want to clear my schedule so I could be over there. Do you know specifically when it will be?
You'll have to speak to my manager about that,
Okay.
Brian.
All right. Fair enough. Is there a date though?
Is and there's no date right now, but April or May sometime, I think.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
it's apparently the whole month of May is free for Croke Park, so I think it's looking likely that month.
okay. Lovely weather in Ireland that time of year, right? So perfect. Open air. No, is it not lovely? Is it still cold in May?
We get good and bad days. The weather in Ireland is unpredictable, so you never know. But regardless, it's going to be a phenomenal night.
Well, I can't wait for it. I can't wait to be there. I will be there even if I have to swim over, because that
Yeah,
is a scene that I want to experience. Delighted
yeah,
for you. Congratulations once again on an
no,
unbelievable performance, and thank you so much for doing this, for
yeah.
coming on. I know you don't do a lot of these, so it really means a lot.
No problem, Ariel. Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, talk to you soon. There she is, the one and only Katie Taylor.